First of all, thank you so much for coming out. Sorry for that whole infinite looping audio stuff. Now that we can get started, I just wanted to thank all of you guys for coming out, taking the time out of your day, for showing interest in Delteria. And without further ado, I want to introduce the people I have in the chat with me. So first of all, Carlito, if you want to say hi to everyone.
Hey, what's going on? My name is Carlito. I am currently the developer and manager of Delteria, and today we're going to be answering a lot of questions on the direction that Delteria is heading. So that's very important. Next up is...
What's going on, guys? It's TyVert. I'll be basically representing the community today and asking questions and interviewing Carlito and Haslo.
And for those of you that don't know me, I'm Haslo. I'm an admin on here. I'm doing community management right now. And yeah, so thanks a lot for coming out. I really do appreciate it. And let's get this started. I know you guys are all excited. So,
all right.
All right, TyVert. I know you have a huge list going on, and we can get started.
All right. So you told me before that you're going to start removing the class systems. So how many classes will there be in Delteria now?
Well, Delteria never actually released a class system. It was based off the classes we had before were basically a mix and match of perks that led you to believe of who the character you're building. So it's always been hard to maintain that, and it's always been unbalanced, and a lot of trees have been harder than others. So I wanted to take it a few steps back, and I really want to make about 3 generic classes, or 4 generic classes. You got your warrior, your mage, your hunter, and your healer is the 4 classes that we're going to start off with Delteria. And these classes are essentially going to be, when you select these classes in the beginning of the game, they're going to have different build and stats that you're going to start off with. So it's going to give you an advantage depending on what class you have, so that you can specialize in a specific area.
I see. So you talked about like using a gauntlet as a healer before. Are you still going through with that, or?
Well, I really wanted to sway away from... I wanted to make Delteria unique and sway away from just having 1,000,000,001 spells. And I really want your gear to be your abilities. So if you put on certain gauntlets, they'll have certain abilities. Like I said, a gauntlet that you can throw up heals, and you know what I mean? So essentially a warrior can put on the gauntlet, but he's not going to really have great heals because he's not going to have stats for that. So he's just really going to take a hit in his armor defense if he wanted to add a pair of hailing gauntlets.
I see.
I'm also probably going to make it so that you need certain proficiencies in order to wield such things as gauntlets, so that even a warrior that's completely spec'd into being that tanky type. So that's where our focus is going to be. That if they choose to wear a such thing as like a healing gauntlets, they're going to really need those points to be able to wield that type of item.
Yeah, like strength and such. You're going to use perks more, like you said, less spells, more stats.
Exactly. So the perk tree is going to be set up where it's really going to be points, and you're going to have the different trees, and those trees are going to be based around points, and your gear is going to be your abilities.
I like that. Reminds me of a few games. I like it. All right. So right now you have this system where when you reach a certain amount of perk points in a class, you get like another class. So for mage, for example, you become a sorcerer. Will there be more subclasses to give the game more diversity and depth?
What do you mean? Explain that.
So if I put all my points into mage and I have the choice to become sorcerer or healer or warlock or something like that, will it be like that?
Yeah, there's still going to be hybrid classes that and these classes are still going to... we're not going to get rid of spells entirely from the perk tree, but we're going to really minimize it, because from the feedback that I got from a lot of the players is they really didn't enjoy warrior because you had to add like 30 buffs before you can even do anything. So they're sitting there spamming all their spells so they can have all these buffs so they're able to do what they were meant to be doing. We want to try to sway away from that so they can go in and fight and automatically damage will be reduced. Maybe they'll get enraged as their health gets higher, as their health gets lower. Maybe they'll become more tanky. That's how we want them to happen automatically.
I see. That goes back to stats, less spells. I like that. All right, so there's another question I have to put it in more depth. So when you were a mage, you were able to go into the cleric class to get yourself more mana. Will there be character class lock?
Good question. I don't think I considered it yet, but I think it'll make sense to be able to. I think it'll make more sense to block some classes because it just people were putting points everywhere to make some OP characters that we just didn't even think of or took into consideration of.
Yeah. So for example, like what we used to do is we'd grab warriors could get heal spells from cleric and just self heal all the time when they're coming in. And
Exactly. That has to be prevented. And yeah, I think even though I haven't considered it yet, I think that's definitely something that we're gonna have to do to balance out the classes so that they can't just mix and match, jump every class. They pick a class and that's the class they are.
yeah. Yeah. All right. Um now this is more about uh GraalOnline. Will Geralts be purchasable?
Absolute. I can't say absolutely not because I'm not the boss. Stefani is the boss, obviously. Unix Mad, he's
Mhm.
obviously the boss. So, but what I would like to do is not make Graylets purchasable. Purchasable. I would
Mhm.
like to use a gem system, and you'll still be able to buy head packs and all that stuff with Graylets like you normally could. However, the gems you can buy head packs, Graylet packs. We added also to the shop. We added cosmetic things such as zone card packs. We want to add iClassic card packs. We want to add era card packs because let's face it that some people that play Delteria they obviously have their favorite servers, so we wanted to add cosmetics from other servers that were completely out of game, had nothing to do with Delteria, and they could have their cards of their home server.
I see. So basically gems are I seen that like gems are way cheaper than Geralts, the way you had the system going. And I see
The-
how your aim is not to be not to bash anybody, but like not to be pay to win like era. You guys want it to be earned.
but the reason why it's not as expensive as the other servers is because you can buy Graylets and purchase anything you want. Because
Mhm.
Graylets is the main form of currency on other servers, so therefore it's higher because if you want to pay for that currency, you got to pay for it. On Delteria, you can't currency and is completely separate than the game money you're going to buy. I definitely want it to be I want our shop to be mostly around cosmetic things that people don't need
Mhm.
to to excel in the game, but at the same time it's pretty cool stuff that you can buy from the shop because server space costs money, the game licenses cost money, so it costs money for this game to go in the store. So it can't be completely free. We need to do something,
Yeah,
and
to make
and
profit.
and and we can't make a shop that's completely useless.
Mhm.
So, but since we're on the in-app shop purchases, I had an idea around that. Is we're gonna also incorporate a mailing system. So basically, you can get rewards and stuff through your mailbox from the system administration, and every time you spend money on Delteria, you gain experience in leveling up, and you can come to VIP level 1, VIP level 2, VIP level 3, VIP level 4, all the way to VIP level 8. And depending on your VIP level, will depend on the package you get every month. So the higher VIP level you are, the better rewards you get each month for being a VIP member and donating to help supporting Delteria.
Oh, that's interesting. I like that. I like that a lot. All right. All right. So this is about more about the developing and stuff. How often will content updates be? I'm gonna put this example out there. Will it be like Fortnite where you have seasons where massive amount of content will come out, or will it be like on holidays where a Christmas dungeon comes out? what's your plan on how?
I'm gonna answer that in 1 second. I just want to answer Negan Slayer real quick because it's the first player question. I just real quick. Delteria is not going to be pay to win. However, if you don't want to work for your head packs, your body packs, your custom content, then you're going to have to pay for it. And that's not pay to win. That's just because you're lazy and don't want to work. So therefore, you're gonna pay for it. So that's why I don't think Delteria is going pay to win. But if you want this content and you don't want to work for it, you're gonna pay for it.
Simply,
So
cosmetics aren't pay to win. It gives you
exactly,
no advantages in game.
exactly.
All
All
right.
right, and your question again. Sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt.
So basically, how often will content updates be? Like new dungeons, new.
I'll start off with the holiday dungeons because I see and these servers, all the other Grail servers, they do great on holiday content, and I personally don't have the strength to keep up to date with holiday content every 3 months. You got holiday content. I rather focus on pushing out new dungeons, pushing out some content that players actually enjoy. So what we decided to do was create a dungeon for each holiday. And now these dungeons will be re-released each holiday continuously. Maybe sometimes the content will be updated in them. We will only revamp one holiday dungeon a year.
I see.
So once a year, we'll pick a holiday dungeon that hasn't been updated previously, and we'll focus on that dungeon and we'll overhaul that dungeon. But other than that, every other dungeon is going to be repeated, a holiday dungeon. You know what I mean? So if you didn't get
Yeah.
how I look at it is, if you didn't get these items in the 2 weeks that this holiday dungeon was out, you have next year to get them.
I see. But will there be new items added?
Sometimes I can't guarantee all the time. Sometimes there'll be new holiday items. It all depends on our workload at the time and the things we're doing. Because if we're working on some good projects and we're about to release some good content, we're gonna focus on that, not the holiday stuff. The
Okay.
holiday stuff brings in a lot of players. Players love the holiday stuff, and we do realize that. But I think that in the end game, that players will appreciate that we want to push out content
I see.
more than focusing on a dungeon that's only going to be out for 2 weeks and then it's going to get closed and
Yeah,
call
that's
it wrapped for the
understandable.
next
Yeah,
following year.
I like that. All right. I understand you're the general manager of like multiple Graal servers.
That's
When Del.
incorrect. I just want to correct that real quick. I am only the general manager on Delteria. I am a developer on other multiple iOS servers. I just wanted to correct
Really?
that. Yes, I'm
Oh
not.
wow.
The only server I'm manager of is Delteria.
Okay. So will you turn your full attention over to Delteria when the game releases, or will you still be working on the other servers?
When Delteria releases, Delteria will have my 100% attention because it needs its upkeeping, and
Yes.
I'm a strong addition to our team. So uh, I will probably still be helping the other servers as they request for my help, which sometimes like OS does and Zone and hardly ever Era. But I have a friend that works there, and he requests my help sometimes, so I end up going over there and giving him a hand on the things that he needs done. But yeah, my focus is going to be Delteria. It's always been Delteria. I just been really stretched thin lately. I had to focus on a whole bunch of other servers and content because let's face it, Delteria makes no money because
Hmm.
it's in development. It's been in development for years. So we really got to focus on producing content for the games that are out there, the games that have player bases, and the games that just the overall make Grail keep going.
Yeah, I got you. It makes total sense. If a game is not in development or it hasn't been fully released, it's not going to make any money. All in all, it's a business. I
All right,
understand.
and quickly, Negan Slayer, is Deltlight old map coming back? If you press the map button, which Haslo can do in a second, Haslo, you want to go out there and check the map button real quick? If you see, the Deltlight, the old map, is not removed in the top left corner. It is not removed. It's grayed out because it's inaccessible. And the reason why the reason why we made it inaccessible, and I'm going to be honest with you, is because Deltlight was a watered down version of the map you see on the right. So, but basically, what we did is we condensed that big map into a little small area, and that was our area for the time being. However, we blocked it out until we can overhaul it, so it wasn't a replicate of the map on the right. So eventually it will be coming back, but we need to focus on the main map before. Yeah, the tile sets, nothing works over there. But we need to, yeah, if you can see, it's a complete replicated version of the Calcium Town on the right. So what we plan on doing, we blocked it off, and we plan on overhauling that to making an area. We even might make it like a VIP island, depending on if you're VIP 5 and up. It's an area you can go to. So it's a small little town that we still haven't yet exactly thought what exactly we were going to do with the town on the left. So we're up for ideas.
I
All
forgot
right,
about
go ahead.
that. I haven't
Awesome.
thought about this place in ages. Old memories.
Haslo already robbed this grave. All right. So, what are some ideas you got for content other than dungeons and such? I've heard ideas of world bosses and such.
So I always liked, like, even you can even encounter a dungeon boss on the map, like they escape from the dungeon, they're on the map, and these bosses are gonna have millions of health. Sometimes they won't be able to be killed. It'll probably depend on how many players are on the server, how many people team up to kill this boss, and it's gonna require a lot of teamwork. And the reason why is because you can get items that only world bosses drop, and they'll spawn not so often, but when they spawn, they'll notify all the players that the boss spawned. And so far, I can tell you the two world bosses that are going to be coming out in a month is we got a dragon, a huge dragon, and we have a tiki boss, which I think some of you guys seen the tiki boss. We were messing around in the start, showing people what the tiki boss looks like, and getting feedback on the tiki boss. A lot so far, no player understood how to beat him, which I think I made him a little bit too complicated. The concept of this boss, which I'll give you guys a hint now, is when his flame goes out, that's when he's targetable.
I see. I like it. I like it. All right. Now, this is going back to the classes. Will you guys add more classes into Delteria to give it more variety?
When are we gonna add more classes?
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be a long ways away. I don't think it's gonna be anything soon because when we do this in a month, we're gonna be resetting players' accounts. We're going to be doing a whole lot of work and checks and balances. We got to make sure all the classes are matched up with one another. So the healer is no better than the mage is no better than the warrior, and the warrior is no better than the hunter.
That was
I
my
think
next
that's
question.
important.
Yeah. It was this is more based on your team. I was wondering how you will organize your team. Will you have different staff teams for like balancing PvP and new items, and have teams for like creating dungeons and stuff, or are you guys gonna tackle everything at once?
Currently we do, but when it comes to balancing and different teams like that, that's all up to the game master manager, which is Fireen. He decides how he's gonna break his team down. But at the moment, that's how the team is broken down. He has a balancing team. He has a team that just like there's a whole bunch of varieties. There's entities, which we call them entities, which is any AI, artificial intelligence on Delteria. It can be from mobs to bosses to interactive objects to anything like that. So he has his team that works on those things. He has his team that works on balancing weapons. He has his team that works on balancing perks. So he breaks down his teams into multiple different departments.
All right, I see. On Fireen's part, I've seen patch notes. So will the game always, when it's being updated, when items get like worked on, will you guys have patch notes? And the second question of that is, will Delteria have its own website dedicated to Delteria?
Delteria has its own website. We kind of shut it down for the time being because Delteria wasn't released. Delteria's website is definitely very inactive, very I didn't mean to say inactive, very interactive, and you can basically look up any item. You can check players' profiles, all that types of stuff right online. So it's definitely the way to go. The website is amazing, and we're still working on it, but it's really good.
So you're gonna release it when it comes out?
Yes, we're gonna release when come out. However, I'm not too sure if we're gonna have a forums like we did before,
Hmm.
because there's Gralien, so it's like we don't see any reason to have
Have
to
your own
administrate
separate
the
forums.
game, administrate the forums. When they have a great forums team, Jairus runs the forums as a super moderator, and he makes sure things are done fairly. So I see no real reason to really create a separate community from Grailians, because Grail is Grail. We should all be part of the same community.
So this is also the other question. When an item gets updated, will there be patch notes on it? So if we want to see like
You want to
will
see if you want to see if your favorite weapon got nerfed.
yeah, exactly. Pretty
In other
much.
words, so yes, ideally, we'll probably let like Herradora or Firene or Faye even sometimes writes notes. We'll probably if I make changes in game, they'll know that the changes we're making, and they'll more than likely post patch notes. We'll probably keep the patch notes on Discord to get people really. We really like Discord, and we feel like that is going to be our go-to place. So if you want news and updates, I would try to get into the GraalOnline official Discord, the Delteria beta Discord. But once Delteria gets released, there's a good chance that we're going to take our community and we're going to join the GraalOnline official Discord. I mean, there's a lot going on in the beta Discord, so we kept it separate. But our end goal is to one community,
I
and
see.
that's there's no reason to separate the communities. Grail is Grail. It's all one game, and we're all coworkers.
I see. All right. Now this is probably my favorite thing about Garral. Um, basing. I wanted to get into this topic a lot. All right. When the game comes out, how many bases will there be, or towers? How they call it in classic.
There'll be about 3 or 4 towers. Haslo's at a tower right now, so you can definitely tell from a tower when you see it. You're like, all right, that's a tower. Let's go. However, towers will have towers have perks. So if you capture a tower, you can craft items, and when you go to the gym, you can craft items right at a tower. You can your guild gets perks by capturing the tower. It shows in your guild tab what perks you get. It can be a guild buff, it can be a buff, a speed buff for your entire guild. It can be an increase of member accounts. So this certain base will have an increase in member accounts. So if you're like low on members and you need more members, you can go capture this base temporarily so that your member count can increase so you can invite who you want. So we really wanted to add different ideas. However, there's going to be an enchantment chamber, and once a day, the enchantment chamber is going to move to different forts. And this enchantment chamber means when you capture a guild fort, you get these enchantment points, and these enchantment points can be used to enchant items. Most of the times, you've seen that you can craft runes and things like that. But the enchantment chamber, you go, you put a weapon in it, and it gives you a random rune. You don't get to pick what it is. You pay certain points, and it will fill your weapon with a random rune. You don't have to craft it or anything like that, and it's a 100% success rate.
All right. I heard you mention something that I was gonna ask for a question. What will the guild player limit be?
The guild player limit at the moment is 15. However, I think I already made it. I'm not too sure. If I didn't already make it, I'm going to make it so you can't guild hop. If you leave a guild, you won't be able to join another guild for 24 hours.
Oh,
And
thank God.
this prevents people from jumping from guild to guild to guild to
Yeah.
guild to guild. We needed to add a cooldown to really prevent that. Since we're talking about guilds, I'm also going to if you have a guild fort,
Hmm.
everything you make in your guild fort will be destructible objects. If you add a couch, for an example, or a storage, that will all be destructible objects. Another guild can pay 200,000 grelets to invade your guild. If they go in there, they destroy your chests and things like that. Your items are gonna drop. Somebody can typically raid your guild house, and that's how. If you build a guild house, it's gonna be risky. You're gonna have to defend it. But when they siege you, from the moment they siege you, it'll be 24-hour notice. So they can't come and attack you for a whole 24 hours. So you'll have 24 hours to prepare and to defend them off.
Oh, you're talking about sieging. Town
Sieging your
sieging?
guild house.
Oh, all right. Is there gonna be any other forms of basing in Garal?
Yes, there's going to be where guilds can ascend to a kingdom. And this whole process of guilds ascending to a kingdom, it gets a little bit complicated. However, there's three main towns in Delteria. There's Port, which everybody's familiar with, which is starting pound. That's actually considered a kingdom. There's the one on the top right that has the wall that's blocked off to players. That is called I think we changed the name of it to Dragon something. And then you have an underground kingdom called MHX City. Those are the three kingdoms we have on Delteria. However, if a guild takes over that kingdom and players, there's still gonna be card shops. There's going to be horses and type of mounts that you can buy. If your guild owns this kingdom, your whole 10% of whatever the town makes goes to the guild, goes to your guild bank. So what 10% of whatever the town makes goes directly to your guild bank, and it will be another siege process where people can siege you, and it's going to cost very expensive because people are losing things. You know what I mean? Their hard work. So I don't want it to be something where somebody pays 100 graalets and they can go do this. If they really want to raid somebody, it's gonna cost them a lot of money.
Yeah, they're gonna because if they lose, they're gonna pay for it. So people just don't spam it.
Exactly.
Way,
So
yeah.
it's going to cost money. It's going to take a lot of people to chip in to pay for it. And it's going to be fun. So if somebody sieges, let's say, Port, and you own that kingdom currently, and also remind you, when you get ascended to a kingdom, you know how when you're a guild, your name under your name is green? You have
Uh,
like a green circle?
yeah.
It turns to gold to let people know that you are a kingdom. And if somebody sieges your kingdom, and let's say it's wartime, in that safe zone, because there's only 3 safe zones in Delteria. We're removing all PK zones. There's only 3 safe zones on Delteria, and those are the main towns. So during that time, you and the people you siege with will be able to kill each other in that safe zone.
I see. So how's it gonna work? So basically, you're sieging. So there's gonna be a defense team and an offensive team. How is this gonna work exactly?
Explain.
Is there gonna be like a wall that we have to break down? Is there
There's gonna be multiple walls that you gotta break down. However, all weapons will do no damage to walls. There'll be doors actually, but weapons will do no damage to doors. You'll need powder keg barrels, which we have powder keg barrels on Delteria. You'll need siege hammers, and any type of sieging tool that we decide to add to Delteria, you're going to definitely need. It doesn't matter regardless of your weapons. You really need to get siege equipment, and crafting siege equipment is going to be expensive. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it, and it's going to be expensive. And it's not something you buy; it's something you craft. So you'll have to craft a whole bunch of powder keg barrels. You have to craft a whole bunch of siege hammers.
I see.
And when you craft them, I mean, when you blow up these things, they can defend against you. They can rebuild them. They can do all types of things to defend against them. We're planning on adding traps that you can buy. We're planning on adding bad guys that you can buy, NPC characters. You can really set up your guards and your defense of your protected area of your kingdom.
That's pretty cool. So you can have NPC. It's like the old base from old Delteria. There was a base where you had the executor as your defender, and
Yes,
anybody that came in to attack, they'd help you and attack them back. That's pretty cool. How you can hire NPCs as like what do you call it? Missionaries? I don't think it's missionaries. Mercenaries. You can hire
mercenaries.
them as like mercenaries to help you defend. That's pretty neat. I like that. I like that idea. That's a big project. I love it. All right. So I heard you talk about PK, and I thought about what exactly are you going to do for the newer players in PK? Because you said there's only 3 safe zones, and everything else is going to be PvP. So if a level 30 player comes up to basically a noob, he's going to destroy him. How is that? How are you going to prevent that? How are you going to protect the noobs basically?
A lot of people are gonna hate this, but a lot of people are gonna hate this, and I'm not going to lie, because if you want to live a life of a bandit, it took us a long time to think of how we're going to handle this, because we want to remove the PK zones, because even on Grail it's hard to maintain PK zones because sometimes certain things don't work when it's a PK zone when it should, and it's just a mess. So I was like, all right, since it's a mess, let's get rid of it. Let's make everything PK zone besides the main towns. But with that saying, we do have to take in consideration of the new players or players that don't want to be involved in that type of gameplay. So to balance it out, what we decided to do is put a murder system in place, which I've seen on a game, but we decided to put a murder system in place. Excuse me. So what we're going to do is you're going to be able to toggle an option to be able to have to be able to kill people. And you still can't do it in main towns. You can't, even though you toggle it, you can't do it in main towns. However, you'll be able to kill them on the map. However, if you kill a player on the map, you'll become a murderer for 3 hours, and the time does not go down if you're offline. So now that you're a murderer for 3 hours, if you go to any safe zone, you can be killed. And not only can you be killed, you will drop every equipped gear you have on you right at your feet when you die.
Mm-hmm.
So players are going to be losing items, and if they want to go around and be a jerk and PK other players, that's cool, because that's part of the game. That's the style they want to live. Some people like to live the bad guy life, you know what I mean, and just ruin other people's games, and that's all right. But there's going to be consequences for those actions.
Exactly. So,
And the consequences is up for the players to hand out those punishments.
exactly. So basically, the murder system is basically in place. If you kill someone who is a non-PKer, you essentially get this target on your head.
You get
Well,
this target on your head, and when they kill you, your murder timer does not go away.
If you wonder if you go offline.
Now that's I was glad you mentioned that. So let's say you're running away and you're going offline. We needed to prevent that, because somebody can just go, oh, hit the X or close out the app, and guess what? They're off the game. However, we're gonna force their character to stay on the game for 10 minutes after they log out. So even if they log out the game, they still can die and lose their items.
I like that, cause
and it prevents from laming, you know what I mean? And it sucks because you'll have your player house. You can go to your player house. You can log off in your player house when you're a murderer and things like that. And let's say you wanted to go to your player house, it's going to be a time for that. So you're going to have to wait 15 seconds before you can teleport to your house. So it's not like you can quickly teleport to your house to get away from there or go to a respawn point, because there's going to be a timer. You're going to have to stand still for 15 seconds before you can initiate these times. So it's not like you can just rush and go to your house and get away from a player after killing another player and just chill for 3 hours. It's not going to work that way.
I like it. I like it. So you Carlito, you were talking about crafting.
Yes.
You told me you were gonna enhance crafting. How so?
So crafting is going to be the new biggest part of Delteria. To craft, we're changing Delteria entirely when it comes to all of this. The crafting system's nice on Delteria, and we're going to really utilize that crafting system. From now on, you will not be able to buy any items from shops. Everything will be crafted. Your sword will be crafted, your pickaxe will be crafted, your tools will be crafted. Everything will be crafted on Delteria. And that means you to go out farming, because it's easy to craft weapons and farming materials. Now this is where it comes in. I'm not sure if you asked about professions yet, but
That was my next question.
This goes hand in hand with professions, so we'll get it out the way now. And on the old Delteria, you used to be able to passively level up. Let's say if you went mining, you'd level up mining. You get level 2, level 3, and the more you did it, the more you leveled up. We're gonna completely scrap that idea, and now every time you level up, you'll get a profession point as well as a perk point, and the profession point gets put into what you want. So for an example, if you went with mining and smelting, you can get points in that. And when you mine rocks, depending on your mining level will depend on what rocks yield when you're mining. So the better quality rocks you'll find depends on your mining level.
I see.
So that's how we're going to do that. So if you went with harvesting and gathering, which I just started programming recently, was harvesting and gathering. So if you went out harvesting and you wanted to be a harvest and gatherer because you want alchemy, you want to make potions, you want to make gems, you wanted to be proficient in that type of thing, because right now gems straight rob you. But if you're proficient in alchemy and that type of field, and you'll be able to craft gems and potions very easy with minimal loss.
I see. So
That's what we decided to go with.
I like it. It's more. It brings more depth to the game. I think before, like mining and everything else was pretty much dull. It was there. It was like all the other girls where you could just make like money off like mining, and if you got a better like say if you mine for like 2 hours straight, then you can get a gold pickaxe or
But
something like that.
the reason why we made these changes is because this goes even though professions and goes hand in hand with something else that the players are also not going to like. And I'm going to be straightforward.
I got that question. So each profession is going to have their own profit. So what do you think?
Yes.
So what do you think about the marketplace? Is the marketplace going to be like if you profess in one profession, you're going to make profit out of that profession?
Absolutely, and that's how you're going to
How
make your money on Delteria.
and wonder if you have some guild members and you want to give them some stuff. Can you trade that with them?
Absolutely not.
So entirely you will get rid of the trading system.
Absolutely. The only thing you'll be able to trade is the card game. You'll be able to trade cards back and forth with people because it's a trading card game. You know what I mean? So we really don't want to remove that from people to be able to trade cards with one another. However, with the guild system is guild systems will have storages that they can build, the current craft storages for their levels, and these storages other guild members can have access with. So you can technically give another guild member an item, but you can't directly trade with people anymore. I'm going to get rid of the completely trading. There's only going to be the marketplace. I'm also going to remove it so that you can't view people's profiles. So you will not know who you're trading from. All you know is you want this item, you want the cheapest price of this item, and that's what you're buying for. This also there's pros and cons to it. The con definitely is there's no more item for item trading, but the pro is money will actually have a value because people buy materials that they're not professions in, and they're actually spending money now. A lot of times people have millions of graalettes because they don't know what to do with them. But on Delteria, we really wanted to fix that and make it so that graalettes had a purpose.
I see. So this is a problem I see. It's top tier items. Everybody's gonna have top tier items, and if there's no way for them to go away, then there's the Geralts are gonna literally just be worthless. So what's your plan on making like items go like basically if everybody has a top tier item and they're basing all the time, what's the point of even dungeoning it anymore? Or
I'm
what's the
glad you
point of
mentioned
doing?
it because this is another thing players are going to hate. So one of our professions we have is called repairing, and you can repair items. And the reason why we have that profession is because weapons are now going to have a durability. So the more you use that weapon, the more it's going to get damaged. However, when you repair an item, the max durability goes down. So you'll never have an item forever unless you just don't use it.
Mm. So basically, in the end, the item's gonna break and then leave the game.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, in the sense of everything, the
But
economy's
this is
gonna
also
continue
why that
flourishing.
this is also why that everything's craftable.
Hmm.
This is why everything's craftable on Delteria, where you can go harvest it and make it. It's not like you have to pay like for an example, Era, where you're gonna go pay 400,000 grillettes for a gun, and it breaks, and then you're out of 400,000 grillettes. No, this is you go out farming in materials, buying materials to craft your item. You can craft that item, or you can find your friend to craft that item. You know what I mean?
Hey,
And that type of thing, or your guildmate. I would go with guildmate because there is no direct trade, so you don't want to go to a friend that's not in your guild.
I just want to address something because I saw this in chat, and this is a valid question, so I want to address this immediately. They're asking, what about limited edition and event items?
Event items will not have a durability.
But limited edition ones, such as dungeons and that kind of stuff?
Dungeons will not drop.
Like the Halloween dungeons, like aesthetic items, for instance, are those gone now?
It depends. If it's just a cosmetic item and it really has no like true value when it comes to PvP and killing other players, then I don't see any reason to add a durability to those type of
Perfect.
items. But if it really has an impact on gameplay and you can just
Hmm.
shatter people with this item, it's an OP holiday item, I think that should have a durability on it.
Yeah.
But certain items like you get in the event shop that's completely cosmetic, they're not gonna have durabilities. There's gonna be other things like dances, emotes, like you see in Fortnite and things like that. Those are
That was
not
a
gonna have
question.
those are not gonna have durability on them. You're gonna have like the little boxes that you can walk around look like a box. Those are not gonna have no durability on them. You're gonna have horses and mounts. Those are not gonna have no durabilities on them. So you're gonna have those forever. But other items like your tools, your weapons, you know what I mean. And when a weapon breaks, let's say if you ruin this weapon up and you enchant it and it has, you're gonna get some of your runes back from that weapon as if you were to
Oh,
salvage it. So it's not like you break an item, you lose your runes that are in that item. You'll still get those runes back as if you salvaged the item.
that's good. That was gonna be another question.
And we're also going to add that where every item you'll be able to salvage from your inventory for materials. So let's say if you run the court dungeon and it drops a bunch of steel swords and things like that, you can salvage those weapons from materials. So you'll be able to dungeon and get items and salvage those items. Especially it'll be good if you're not in mining and blacksmithing and you're getting all types of different types of steels and things like that that can actually help you out.
That's awesome.
If you craft an item, can you take it apart and get your materials back? Yes and no. And I shouldn't say no, yes, but if you use it and the item is missing durability, you're only going to get a percentage of it back because the item is used.
Mm.
And Jack asking the infamous question that everybody wants to hear. When is Delteria getting released?
That was gonna be my last question. Delteria 2019? Question
All
mark.
right, so we'll save that for his last question, Jack. We'll save that for his last question.
All
All
right.
right, so I think I answered that. And a lot of people are gonna hate these changes, and some people are gonna like these changes. But Delteria is not released, so right now is the time to do what we want with the game before it gets released.
Trust me, chat. When I heard about these changes, I slammed my head on the desk. It was not pretty. But overall, after thinking about it, I really like it. The durability keeps the economy from stagnating. If you
It
really
does,
think about it,
and
what
that's what I thought because like when I go on Error or you see like OS or Zone, and those are great servers. I have nothing negative to say about any of them. They're all thriving in their own little way. But people have items forever. Like you look at their inventory, and they have this sword that they had since day one, and it's like there's no really revolving circle. Like there's nothing. There's no these players stop playing because they got everything. But if they have to go out and continue harvesting materials and interacting with their friends, it keeps them playing. And we don't want players to have items forever. I mean, it sucks that we got to put this thing, but the reason why I decided to go this way is because people have items forever, and I really wanted Delteria is a different type of game than Era, OS, or like that. You know what I mean? Where it's just a totally different type of game. It's an RPG element, and really, once a person's OP and have these items forever, they're never gonna come down.
exactly? And there's what is the point of Geralt's at that point? If you have everything great, you're just gonna keep your inventory is just gonna keep going up in Geralt's, and the everything's gonna it's gonna be inflation basically. Items are gonna be worth like nothing, but a lot. Like if everybody has Haslo's pound stick.
We're not calling it that. That was a beta name.
If we have everybody has Haslo's pound stick, then what is like what's the point of like selling it? Like it's like there's no point, or like I it's easier. He said it well. All right, on to the next question. Um, will you add professions? continuing to like add professions and stuff as Delteria
I don't think
goes along?
so. I think once we get them lined up, I can tell you what professions we have that we're planning on having is we're gonna have harvesting and we're gonna have harvesting and gathering. We're going to have blacksmithing and smelting. We're going to have we're gonna have outfitting where you can craft leather gear as well because you know you got those hunters that want the light gear set and things like that. And we're gonna have engineering where they can craft guns because we have guns on Delteria as well. You're gonna have and we're going to have repairing where you can choose to repair items. You know what I mean? So and when it comes to repairing items, I really have to do something about that because you can't really repair items for people because you can't directly trade. So I might make it so where you can send an item to somebody to repair it. If you pay the fee, they charge you a fee. There's a menu that does their transaction. So once they repair it, the item automatically goes back. And so we still haven't figured out exactly how we're going to go about that, but I do know it's something that's going to have to be resolved.
All right, all right. Back to basic. So me and my guild, I give Ryan and Axios credit for this. Thank you for helping me make these questions. We were doing some tests, and one of these tests were summons. And having so many summons in a base, well, first question, will summons be allowed into a base?
Absolutely, because it's an ability. And by us now allowing a summon into the base, we're basically stripping a hunter of their ability to have their companion by their side.
Will each class have a summon?
Only two classes have three classes have summons. Healers have a little ball that goes around and throws passive heals up. You have the hunter that can tame dragons and they can tame wolves at the moment. And then you have mages that can summon goblins and mage goblins and things like that.
I see, I see. So they'll be in the bases as well. Now this is like a more deeper question about like the Graal and like how the game runs and stuff. So me, Sith, and Rajofa decided to drop 3 meteorites at once.
The meteorite script wasn't written by me, so it was actually written by a friend of mine that was learning how to program. I was teaching, which was Paladin. So I'll revisit that and fix those problems. It's just because it wasn't written, so it's not efficient.
So the frame loss from that can be fixed.
Yeah, it can. It just was programmed very. It's an awesome spell. He did a great job on doing it, but let's face it, it's laggy and I'm gonna go see it and I'm gonna fix it. That's something that I'm probably gonna keep that in game because I like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. When we dropped 3 of them, it stayed stable sometimes, and it dropped 3 frames some other times. And
yeah, I'll fix that. I think it's just really horribly done. So I'll keep the same effect and just rewrite it, and we should be able to fix those problems.
All right. So, and let's see. So, will there be beta testing rewards at the end of beta testing, basically?
They will. We announced rewards before, but after we implement all these updates, we're going to do a final beta testing, and anybody that actively participates in this beta testing will get those season rewards or get those beta testing rewards.
So is it going to be
and none of those rewards that you get from beta testing will have durability. You'll have them forever.
I see. So is it going to be
something
like
that
cosmetics?
You want to get into?
Is it going to be like cosmetics or something?
I'm not sure. I know it was a horse made by Shuriken, and a couple. I believe everything was made by Shuriken, but I'm not exactly sure what it is. I'd have to go back and check. I don't exactly know what the beta testing rewards was.
We did write it up. We actually took time and wrote it down somewhere. I don't remember what it is either, but we actually do have a document with that written down.
Yeah,
it's been decided already.
I have to go find it and look it up.
All right. And a few last questions. Delteria seems to now just be like kind of you just have the beginner quest and you're off. Do you plan on adding more quests? Or
We
is it just going to be tutorial and
we will have quests throughout Delteria, but they're not. It's not. They're not going to be significant. I wanted to sway away from quests because we tried time and time again to implement some type of storyline to Delteria, and every time we tried, we're just bad at it. There's no good way to say it. We're just bad at being a storyteller, I guess. And so what I want to do is add random quest places, and these random quests will you'll be able to do just to kill some time, make a little bit of money maybe, and that type of thing. But there's going to be really no set direction the quests are going to head. We're gonna redo the beginning tutorial. Probably not. I like the jail cell. A lot of people say they're confused. Maybe we have to revisit it and make it more straightforward. But you are gonna have a tutorial quest that's gonna let you know how to craft your first item, how to craft items, how to do everything to basically get you into the game and the mechanics of the game.
mhm. um that's pretty much it. What I got. Oh, and yeah, there's one more question. Oh, actually, there's a few more questions. How will you personally promote, or if anybody, GraalOnline, how will you guys promote Delteria
How will we promote Delteria?
to get like new players and
There's a
stuff?
lot of ways we can promote Delteria. I'm talking about Facebook ads. There's a lot of ads company on Delteria that if Delteria is successful and heads in a really positive way, Unixmat has no problem investing time and money into promoting his game. So it really depends on how well we do as a team, so he can see how serious we're taking the game, so he can definitely move it up to the next level.
That's awesome. That is awesome. So back on cards because I think cards are actually a really cool like implement into the game because no other like Corral game ever had this. This is like a huge up. This is like a side thing that you could do, or you can even main it. So cards have ranked. Will there be like rewards for ranked cards?
There will. There'll be season rewards. Season rewards is every 3 months. That board's been up there forever because that was just a testing phase. But see, it shows the top four on the board. But cards will have season rewards. We will also have tournaments. So there'll be big tournaments held because the card game, even though it's off meta of Delteria, it's a huge part of Delteria.
Hmm.
Like the card game, like for an example, me and administrator was playing the card game for hours. Herodora was playing hours the other night, just a card game, like over and over and over again. We literally, I think it was yesterday, today, last night. We've been playing that card game for hours. And if you noticed, I also fixed the board and the arena, so now it shows what colors is which, so you know whose cards is whose when you're playing.
That's really neat. So do you think GraalOnline, like on this Twitch channel, we could host tournaments and stuff of cards and stuff?
What do you
Showing
mean?
like the best players, maybe have a tournament showing the best players and cards and such.
Yeah, we'll definitely like iClassic has the sparring tournament that's like a phenomenal over there, and everybody's into it and everybody loves it.
Yeah,
Delteria will be the card arena, will be the phenomenal thing that we have going on Delteria, and people will be able to play the card game, and I think they'll enjoy it. The card game's simple to learn, it's very basic, and anybody can pick it up.
yeah,
So
I really
that's
like
what we're
it.
aiming for. When we created the card game, we wanted to say, all right, how can we make a simple game? And I think we accomplished that. It's very simple to play.
I like it a lot. I like it a lot. So will you guys also have like GTSs like Era and Classic?
Like the sparring tournaments,
Yeah,
we probably will, but I don't think they'll be as big because that's classics thing. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
that's their thing. And there's no feel of sparring like there is on classic Grail. and in my personal opinion, like if you spar on Delteria, it's not like iClassic. It's not. I don't think it's incredibly fun. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like when you're PKing and you're massing spells and you're fighting a whole bunch of different people, that's different. But when it's 1v1, it's not too fun because you got this guy with OP spells and it's not really balanced like the card game. So I think the card game is going to be our way to go.
In my opinion, I believe it could be good. You gotta set. I think this all goes with the meta of the game and balancing. Where
We're not definitely against it. I mean,
yeah, I know.
I see it could have a future to it. But I'm saying I'm not gonna have my hopes up. But if it turns out to be a great thing, that's awesome. But it's just, you know what I mean. It's something that we're gonna have to see when time comes.
Awesome. So, what percentage are you guys like with the progress of the game? 0 being like you haven't even started. 100.
I'm hoping to have all this new content uploaded into Delteria within the next month.
So
you guys are gonna start seeing these changes come live. You know what I mean? They're not gonna make sense until everybody's reset, and then you're like, oh, all right, here we go.
All right, so it's time for the question. Will Delteria be coming out in 2019?
No. Delteria will probably not be coming out in 2019, and I would love to say yes, it would, but I feel like if we rush Delteria, once people play Delteria, and if we rush it, they're never gonna come back.
Mm-hmm.
They're never gonna come back. They're gonna play Delteria once, say this game's crap, poop, and they're never going to come back. And that's why Unix Mad, he invested so much time into Delteria because he really wants to see Delteria be successful. Because there's been plenty of times where I say, well, let's release Delteria, let's see where it goes. And he's like, well, once you do that, there's no going back. And he's absolutely right, because once we release Delteria, and if it has a bad release, there's no coming back for it. It's dead for good.
Yeah.
So we really want to, after we release all this content, it's going to be probably 3 to 4 months of testing it out, 5 months to testing it out, making sure this is really the direction we want to head, and then we can look forward to a final release. But until then, I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening this year. I would love to say yes, let's have it released this year, but I don't see it happening. I really don't see it happening.
All right. That's it for me.
Oh, thank you very much, TyVert and Carlito, for all of that. So I've been seeing a ton of questions. People have been asking some really good questions. I only really interjected when it was having to do with what you guys were talking about. There's not going to be any beta keys, just to address that point. The app is pretty much just frozen the way it is for now. We're working on the actual content in the game before going back to the app. So if you already had access to the app, good for you guys, congratulations. Otherwise, you guys have to play on PC for the moment. Or Mac, the client does work on Mac, is my understanding. I want to open the floor to some questions. If you guys have any questions that weren't already asked, please go ahead. And Carlito or myself will try and answer you. And once again, TyVert, I want to thank you so much for your time today. You put in a lot of work getting those questions, and it's very much appreciated. You representing the community like you did. I don't think we could have had someone better do it. So thank you very much.
No problem, man. It was an honor.
What was the app used to play on iOS again? Well, if you already had it, it was the Graal Player Worlds app, I believe. But that's not open to just anyone at this point, right?
Nope, it was open to a certain amount of people. The first 2,000 people I think downloaded it. We upped it to another 1,000 people, and those people already took those slots. So it was a limited number of beta slots to see how well the app ran with doing this multi-server application.
That's it. So for the moment, if you don't have the app already, unfortunately, there's no further way to get it for the moment. And we will update you guys when the app is available again. For now, though, if you want to play, feel free to play the Player Worlds version on PC or Mac.
Omni Grail had a question. His question was, will there be boss fights that every guild can help out? And if so, will there be rewards be split among them? We did talk about the world bosses where everybody can help out. I really didn't go into the reward system too much, but yes, it will be everybody will get their own role. Some people will get nothings, or I'm not nothing, but everybody will get something. But it might not be too great. But some people will get probably an item that drops that will only drop from that boss, and it's a really good item. For example, there's a trinket that you can get from the Tiki boss, and it's a really good item, and it's a world boss. But it's like again, it's a chance.
Can I bust out the Tiki boss real quick? I
Yes.
kind of want to do that. Is he called Tiki Tim, or what was the name of him?
Yep, it's Tiki Tim.
It's Tiki Tim.
It's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna be
He's
in there.
not in the baddie spawner, right?
Click yourself.
Yeah.
And go to entities.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can do that. Editors, entities. Let's play a game called Find It, and then Tiki boss. Test.
So this is what he's showing you is one of the world bosses that you will face.
Oh god, I gotta go in. I'm gonna die. Yeah, there you go.
And you see how his flame went out? That means he can be targeted, but he has so much health that it's gonna be hard to beat him with. It's just Haslo.
He does it. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do it. I also don't have a weapon. I also do not have a weapon. So I'm just saying, you know. But yeah, so this is gonna be a world boss. He summons little flame dudes that attack you as well. So you're gonna have to have guys fighting the ads because this DPS will add up. Right now, the only reason why we're not dead is we're invincible. But yeah, this boss is not easy. We've unleashed this dude on the players a few times. Not easy to fight. What will solo playing be like? That's a very good question because, as Opte asked here, you like to play solo and you don't want to play with friends. You don't want to play with other people. You just want to do your own thing. So, Carlito, what do we have for solo players? Obviously, the guild aspect and the world boss aspect doesn't apply to this, but obviously we have some other things they can do, right?
We have some other things to do, but a lot of our content is definitely evolved around playing with other people. It's a multiplayer game, so there's a lot you can do. We're thinking about adding a dungeon system where you can just queue up and it will put your role into a certain dungeon, so a bunch of randoms can definitely get into a dungeon together. I'm not sure if that's ideal because every time you queue up with randoms, you know what happens when you queue up with randoms. It doesn't always go too well. So I would definitely try to find some friends, then make some friends so you can do dungeons out there and make it easy. But we are planning on adding some type of queue system for the people that do go solo and just don't care about who they get and just want to do the content.
That makes sense. This is our goal here is to make an MMO. This is not, so obviously you do have to play with people to some extent. If you have trouble, we do have programs in place that can help you join a queue, or we want to put one in place rather, like Carlito just said. But this server is going to be based more on making new friends.
And like Faye said, you can do the dungeons by yourself. They're not impossible.
No.
Some dungeons require teamwork because you need people to do different parts of the dungeons. But a lot of the dungeons you can do by yourself. I've seen people on Delteria solo dungeons on their own.
It's true. You have to be a little bit over leveled, but you can definitely do it, and you can definitely experience it. And if you're the kind of person that wants to play alone, dungeons might be not really what you want to do. You might just want to go off and explore by yourself, or sit and take a look. Or what I really like to do, I like to go sit in one of the fairy towns and just listen to the music. Honestly, I think that's kind of cool. But each to his own. Okay, let's see here. We have. If you've already played on iOS, are you still able to get the app? If you already have the app. Yes. If you lost the app, no, it can no longer be downloaded. You can check if you use the same iTunes account, but there's not much you can do. And like Nightbot is saying here, if you haven't already joined our Discord, please join it. The link is in the chat right now. And that'll get you up-to-date updates all the time whenever we're doing a new Q&A, whenever we're doing giveaways, whenever we're doing changes, whenever the app comes out. Joining the Discord will be very, very, very important, as well as giving us suggestions and, telling us about bugs. It really helps us out.
Absolutely. I seen somebody asked a question. Let me scroll up about how is I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. It's like Talhelabeg, something like that. He said, how is towering in the game compared to the rest? Well, towering on Delteria is a lot different than the rest of the servers because while you maintain a certain base, your entire guild gets the perks of that base, whether it's a speed bonus, attack bonus, magic bonus, a guild bonus where you can increase member counts temporarily. There's some other perks where you can get double experience. So if you have new members and you want to level them up, you can go capture a fort and that gives your whole guild 2 times experience, and you can go on and you can farm with your guild members while another guild member holds that fort. Your other guild members are gaining extra experience because you guys have that tower. So that's how it's compared. It actually it makes you want to I'm not sure how Zodiac's system is. I was manager of Zodiac a long time ago, and they never had that on Zodiac when I was part of their team. So I don't know how Zodiac is. Zodiac, and I'm not gonna lie, Zodiac influenced me a lot on Delteria. Zodiac was one of the only Grail games that I actually enjoyed. I loved the game. It's a great game, and as a kid, it was my absolute favorite. So I definitely love the way Zodiac was going. So if it's like Zodiac, that means we're heading in the right direction. There's also going to be a guild bank. There's going to be guild storages. The guild bank will only hold currencies, but you'll be able to. Everything inside your guild fort needs to be crafted. So you'll be able to craft storages in your guild base, and those storages will be able to hold items.
Quick question, Carlito.
Yep.
This goes along with guild bank. Do you have to? Okay, so the leader has to set ranks. Will there be like a rank where you have to give someone for them to like take money out? I'm guessing like not everybody can take money out of the guild. You can't just join the guild and money can't
Yeah,
get extracted.
yeah. There's 2 things that I want to do. First, I want to make it so that guilds can allow a daily allowance to their members, and they can allow who can take out. So if somebody can't take out money out the bank, they won't even be able to touch the daily allowance because they can't take money out the bank. So those are the 2 new rights that I want to add to the guild system.
I like it. So like leaders or like whoever is in the guild that has a high enough rank can like do.
Also, there's going to be, before we had no specific guild leader in the guild. It's just like whoever is in the same tier, but you can move somebody up to the same tier and they can move you down, even though you purchased the guild, you built the guild. We're going to make a guild leader so they can't be modified whatsoever. However, if a guild leader is inactive for 7 days, the leadership of the guild will go down to the next guild leader, next most active guild leader. 7 days.
7 days.
7 days.
Don't go on vacation.
It's not going to remove you from the guild, but it will go down to the next active member. So it keeps the guild moving, with or without you.
I'll just stay AFK.
There you go. Get those hours up. Talabeg. I'm gonna mispronounce everyone's name.
Maybe we will make it 14 days. You know what I mean, and give them some leeway. You know what I'm saying? But we really want people to play Delteria. You know what I mean? So It's like, come on, maintain your guilds, because I've seen a lot of support tickets and issues where people are saying, well, my guild leader has been inactive for 7 months. Can I get a guild transfer? And technically they can't, because it's their guild. They can be inactive all they want. So we're going to put something in place where that inactive person will automatically be removed for being inactive.
Mm-hmm.
And it keeps the top guilds keep going.
I see.
If you don't want to get removed from the owner of your guild, then you got to come on. You got to play Delteria. You know, join the fun. So I think that's what we're gonna do.
Sounds good. It keeps the game, keeps the clans active. Definitely, and that's something that's very important.
The Port City, Talahab, it was a teamwork. It wasn't just Shuriken is my homie. He's a phenomenal graphics artist, and I will never put it past him. But it was both Shuriken and Sans that created that town. They both worked together. Sans. They both created the work on it, and they both really. I was against it. I told them no, but Unix Matt says, "Hey, the town is confusing. We want it remade." And I was like, "I like it. You know what I mean? If they remake it, it's probably gonna come out worse." And they did an awesome job. I'm glad they said, "Well, we don't care what you think. We're gonna remake the town because that's what Unix Matt wants."
I also want to agree with Faye here. If you've never played Delteria yet, even though the game's going to change a lot from what it is right now, definitely give it a try. It's still a lot of fun. There's still a lot of things to do, and get a feel for it. Because the general feeling of the game, the general overall, the looks and everything, that's not going to change. Some of the mechanics will change. The dungeons will change, the items will change, but still get a feel for the game, meet some players that like it right now, make some new friends, and check it out. There's a lot of stuff to do, even though nothing's finished just yet. And there will be an Android version when everything is finished. Our main goal right now is we can give you the apps, right? But there's no content. We'd rather give you the content first and then the apps to go and access that content. Otherwise, you're just going to log in and not be able to accomplish what you want to. So that's what we're focusing on first. The apps will come second. That applies for both Android and iPhone. If you somehow still have a BlackBerry, you're out of luck.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
See, there's a lot of people chilling on here. It's nice. You're just walking around town and just see people hanging out.
So, is there any more questions anybody has about Delteria, guys? Because we felt like this was really important to let the players know what direction we're heading in. Because a lot of people has been asking us over and over, well, what's going on with Delteria? And yeah, we've been keeping a lot of the players in the dark because we really were improvising on what we wanted to do with this beautiful content, what way we wanted to go, and we really had to sit down and think what direction we wanted to head. How can we make this feel like a complete game? And that was the important part. Are there going to be assignments that guild members can do to put funds in the guild bank? What do you mean? Guild houses and all that stuff will cost the same much as every iOS server. We're not going to make it cheaper on Delteria or anything like that. So I don't know what the guild costs are on iClassic or OS or Zone, but the prices are going to be the same. We're not going to try to outbeat any iOS server. We're gonna whatever their prices are, we're gonna set ours to the same.
To answer Calasity, Delteria is an iServer right now. If you have the app, if you're one of the lucky 3,000 people who downloaded the app, you have access to this right now on iOS.
Yep. Also, what I want to say about guild houses, we are doing something different than the other servers. When it comes to guild, not come to guild houses. When it comes to player houses, we are creating a player house where it can be customized. You can add one expansion that it can be any room whatsoever. So you have your outside, you have your inside, and you have one additional expansion. Then you have two more expansions. One is going to be a job expansion where you can add a farming house or a greenhouse type expansion, and the other one is you can add your own spar arena or card arena to your house. Obviously, stats are not going to count towards your card stats or towards your sparring stats, but you'll be able to add your own personalized spar in your house if you pay for that expansion. So you can have a bunch of your friends come over your house. You guys can spar each other, have your own little personal card tournament, and things like that.
I love Agility's question. Will Delteria be able to be used with a controller?
Oof.
You talking about the gamepad?
Yeah, iOS 13 will include a Bluetooth controller support. When Delteria comes out, will it have a
Can you
controller?
use it on iClassic?
We don't know. It's something I think that's something we're gonna have to look into. That looks like it's brand new technology, and it's something that it might be possible, but probably not immediately because we're gonna have to look into getting that to work if possible. But we could probably make it happen.
Yes, I agree with that. I agree with that a lot.
Thanks, Jack. We appreciate the help.
It's all right, Jack. We have tracking on board now.
Yeah.
I appreciate it though.
We have good Gannies now. Shots fired.
So
We love
that's
you guys.
yeah, that's let's see. I think that we answered a lot of questions. Does anybody have anything else? Delteria is hiring. We're hiring Ganny artists, level artists, graphics artists, and scripters if there's any out there, which I highly doubt it, but you never know. You never know. 1 in a million comes along.
Hey, it's worth asking if you know anyone. So if you're interested in any of those positions, again, check out our Discord. I can't spend that enough. That is where everything gets done. All the announcements are made. Everything gets posted there. Please join our Discord. If someone could put the link in chat again. And if you're interested in applying in any positions, that's where we announce the positions and how to go around getting hired. Faye is in charge of the graphics team, so she'll be able to give you information if you're interested in that.
That's it. And also remind you guys, when we're hiring, we do a check from iClassic, OS, Zone, and all the other iOS servers. So if you're banned from iClassic, or if you're not on the allow list on iClassic or any of the other iOS service, there's a good chance you will not be hired on Delteria because they marked you as a no-go. Just to clarify that up. So if you're somebody that has done something bad on iClassic or Era and you think you're going to come to Delteria, they'll notify us and be like, hey, this guy's no good. And we just won't go for it. So that's how that's going to go.
Perfect. Let's see here. We have a couple more questions here. So we have Monksta. What fun hobby things that aren't main content, like PvP, PvE, professions, and cards, do you guys have in store for us? So besides those things, what do we have coming? We have events. We have quite a few events.
Oh, we have a lot of events. I'm up to what would you guys like to see? What would you like to see besides the main content?
Hidden quest. There you go. That's an idea. I like the idea how Haslo always used to break down doors and there'd be random things there. It gave like depth. It gave depth to Delteria. It's like when you explore, you find new things out, and it's really nice.
I spent a lot of time hiding Easter eggs, and then we changed the continent, and all my Easter eggs are like gone forever. In fact, I want to show one off if I can find it again. Let's see, back on Deltlight. The tile set here is going to be all messed up. Here it is. No, that's not it. Yes, it is. No. Yes. Okay, I think it's still here.
Oh, we do have a collecting activity. We have something very similar, like archaeology, where you get a treasure map.
No.
And when you get a treasure map, you open it up, and a little GUI pops up, and it's a little scroll animation that shows you where the X is at. So then you go to that X, and you can dig, and you have to find that X.
Actually,
so it's like you're digging for the treasure.
The treasure hunting
dude scrolls on Delteria
is right
that
here.
You have to go around and you dig, and you can get random items from doing those activities.
I need a treasure map. Buy. Okay, I just bought a treasure map. This is still fun. This is functioning. Yeah.
The treasure map works right now.
Yeah.
You buy a treasure map.
There's
ones you can find that are better than the ones you can buy in the shop, but he's going to
use.
Oh, there it is right there. So if you look, it's searching, and then it finds where the loot is, and there it is.
And it's on my map right here.
If you go around about to that X, it also shows on your map. And it's not going to be in that exact area. That just gives you an estimate location of where it could be.
I mean, there's an arrow right here that's saying dig here. I don't have a shovel, though. Hold on a second. Let me spawn a shovel. I am actually broken, game. Shovel.
And that's also what we have is a GPS system. If you click a location on your map, any marker on your map, there's a little arrow that directs you into that location. Everybody has that.
This might take a minute. There it is.
Did you get it?
Yep, I got it.
There it is.
I got it.
See,
Some
now
HP
the pot
and shards.
up.
Yep. I got some
shards.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool. Took a while to make that, but it's a nice little thing for people to do. See, I think you missed it. Shops are not going to sell items on Delteria. That's up to you players to set the prices. The
way
only
see it.
place that you'll really see, the only place that you will really be able to see, the only sales that will happen is the GraalOnline shop will have sales. If Haslo, if you can click on it, and he's on PC, so it might not show him any items, but he can go to click on himself and go to IAP.
Where are you trying to send me?
Go to IAP. Do you have it? You might not have the menu.
I might not have the menu. I just have this normal shop here, the VIP shop.
Click on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. So if you
Okay.
look, this is what our shop looks like compared to the other iOS service. They tell you the sales that's going on. They'll have a little sale marker on them. And that's how we're doing our sales on Delteria. So sometimes there'll be a sale on EXP boost, there'll be a sale on head packs, there'll be a sale on those type of things. And the sales will be directed only to in real life purchases. They won't be any sales in game. So the sales are mostly to promote items or featuring items for that month or however we decide to do it.
And here's the VIP level experience that we were telling you guys about earlier during the Q&A. So as you make purchases in this shop, this experience will go up, your level will go up, and then you'll get additional benefits. You'll get cost reductions, you'll get free stuff.
Yeah, free stuff for helping support Delteria.
You can see here we have playing cards that represent some of the staff or items that you may know from the different I servers as well. All West, Zone, IR. And then we have replay badges, which I'm not sure. What's the future of the replay badges, actually? That's a question I have. Are we going to continue?
Replay badges.
Yeah. Are we still going to be using those? Or?
We didn't even go over that.
Yeah.
And replay badges.
Oh. So go ahead.
You'll only be able to VIP members. VIP members will one sec. VIP members will be able to the VIP members will be able to get to do a dungeon twice a week. If you're VIP level 7, you'll be able to do a VIP dungeon 3 times a week. So if you're just spending $1, get you VIP 1, just $1, and that will allow you to do the dungeons twice a week. However, it's only good if your VIP subscription is active. So the purpose of VIP dungeons is so that people can't just sit there and grind dungeons all day. You would only be able to do it. You would only be able to do dungeons once a week, but you have an option to pay to do it more than once a week. And we're not stopping you from going in the dungeon. If you want to go in the dungeon, you want to farm levels and all that, but you won't get the chest drops unless you reset the dungeon. Yes, you need to spend real money to get VIP, and the VIP level always stays. So if you're VIP level 7, you'll be at VIP level 7 forever. It doesn't reset. And as you can see, the link just posted at shop.spreadshirt.com, GraalOnline.com. I'm in GraalOnline, and that is the merchandise that you can purchase, the Graal merch that you were asking about. Possibly when Delteria gets out, we'll probably be adding some Delteria content, hopefully, to that soon. But right now, it's a lot of iClassic stuff, and it's really good merchandise. Really good merchandise. So that is our idea with our in-game shop. I passed it by the big man, and he likes it, but he probably wants to see how it actually works before it's set in stone. So it could be changing because, like I said, I am not. It's not my call. I'm a manager and a developer of a game. So it all depends on what the boss wants and how we can change it, and in the long run. So that's important as well too. No, VIP is still going to be monthly. I got to clear this up. VIP is still going to be a monthly thing. However, you'll still get benefits and packages depending on your VIP level that you always get, but you'll still have this monthly VIP item that only current subscribers will gain. So you'll still have that monthly VIP that all the other iOS servers have. So it's not like you purchase VIP once and you're all set. I don't want to misconstrue that with anybody. You'll still have your monthly purchase. But however, the reason why we created this system is because we felt like people that spend money all the time and really help support Delteria, we need to give them a thank you. It is the same price as all the other servers. However, the difference on Delteria is you can't buy VIP for 7.5 grillets. You got to pay cash for it. It's not like you can buy 7.5 grillets, and so it is going to be it's going to be different. So it is a lot easier to get on a lot of other servers, but you can't. Yeah, we're not going to make it so you can purchase VIP with grillets. So it's no. So yes, I'm answering your question. Yeah, you'll no longer be able to pay for grillets. It'll cost money.
Okay.
And I meant that only on Delteria. This does include iClassic. We're talking about Delteria. Yeah, I'm glad Carrie said that. It's only for Delteria. And even then, it can change because it all matters what Unix Mad wants. So even then, it can change.
VIP levels are a new thing that aren't really in the game because we're not trying to charge you money now. The game's not out yet. We don't want you to pay for something that you might lose later on. So that's why VIP levels aren't really in the game just yet. They exist, but they're not really accessible. So that's fine. I'm gonna massacre your name nonstop, Talibek. But once again, like Faye said, like we said earlier, give the game a try. It's free. You can just go to GraalOnline.com, download the player worlds, and it's available right there at no cost to you. So if you have the time, give it a try if you're interested. So the questions seem to be drying up a bit. Is there anything else? Last little run before we head out?
I'll hit you with one.
Okay, go for it.
All right. What will be the guild rewards?
We haven't decided that yet. What do you mean guild rewards?
So in like Era, you get like a hidden base, or not like a base, hideout, and later on a train station is rewarded to your guild, where you could put statues and stuff. So basically, like when we hit 2,000 hours, will there be like a reward? Such a thing?
Yes and no. And the reason why I'm saying yes and no is because we didn't bring this up. We completely skipped this part when we were talking about guilds. But every guild will have their own guild shop. And if you reach a certain milestone, maybe for a whole day you'll get a percentage off on that guild shop items, and it's random. So every day the items change, and your items in your guild shop is not the same as the next guild. It's completely random. And in your guild shop, there's everywhere between level 4 runes to objects that you can put in your house that normally you would have to craft. You know what I mean? So there's going to be a bunch of things in your guild shops. We haven't really decided about the longevity of the of how the guilds are going to work, or what benefits they're going to get from reaching a certain milestone. But they definitely should gain benefits from reaching a milestone. So that's something that we really need to think about. But we really haven't had a chance to really talk about the team and decide exactly what we want to go about that.
Guild points. Will you guys be adding guild points similar to like Era and West? One person asked.
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm against it.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Well, there is no reason for an encyclopedia because you can go to any crafting station and see whatever weapons you can get, because any weapon that can be crafted, you can get. So it's not really, you don't really need an encyclopedia. You go up to the blacksmithing station, you can see everything a blacksmith can craft. But if you don't have those levels, you're not going to be able to craft it. If you don't have the materials required, you're not going to be able to recraft it. But you'll be able to see. And when it comes to, there's only going to be 4 weapon tiers now. Before, there's 1,000,001 items on Delteria, but we're going to remove all that. We just find it unnecessary to have 1,000,001 items, especially when they have durability. People are going to craft it. We don't want everybody to be at a different level than one another. We want everybody eventually to be on the same level. So that's how we're going to do it. It's you can just go right up to a crafting station. Let's say if you go up to a alchemy station or a cooking station, you can see all the foods you can cook. You go to alchemy station, you can see all the different types of runes you can craft. And if you go up to outfitting, you can see all the leather armor that you can craft. And these stuff is going to require high proficiency levels to craft the in-game content. And a lot of the core materials required to craft that content is going to be found in the dungeons. And that's another thing that we didn't touch on. I'm glad Army brought that up, and we completely slipped our mind about that. And I'm glad we can bring this up real quick. Is the level cap currently is 30? You're gonna stop gaining points, profession points and perk points at level 30. However, we're gonna remove the level cap. So a lot of people have idle time of hours and things like that. And really, like, you really can't judge somebody on hours because 75% of their hours is AFKing. So we decided to remove their level cap, and that's really going to show how much you actually play Delteria, because if you're out farming and leveling, you're actually playing the game. And the higher level you are, the more dedicated you are to Delteria. So you'll stop gaining points at level 30, but the level, there is going to be no level cap. You can just keep continuously leveling and leveling and leveling. There is no level cap on Delteria. And the level cap will really show how much you are a dedicated player to the game. So, and that's that. But is there any other questions? Did I miss anybody's questions?
Beg had a good
Towers, you get a
question.
boost on the base. Tower, will it work outside too? If you want to two towers with the boost stacks, yes, absolutely. If you have a guild enough to hold 2 towers, your boost will stack. You can maintain multiple different towers, and you can collect every single tower in the game and stack up all those things. Absolutely. No. Yes and no, because everybody's going to pick different professions, because some people want to be a warrior, some people want to be a hunter. So people might specialize in the profession. For an example, if you're a hunter, you might want to go with skinning, where you're skinning wolves and you're getting meat and you're getting hide and things like that. You're going to sell that into the market. For somebody that doesn't have that profession is going to buy your materials. So that is how the player gaining money is going to work on Delteria. How you initially gain money is going to be from how you're going to gain money is they're going to be certain things that the bad guys drop, and these things can be sold in the marketplace to the NPC to gain cash. So you're going to have to actively be out there killing things to gain money, and you use that money to purchase the materials you need elsewhere. And looks like Eric was about to say about it, but yep, they're called Game Masters on Delteria. You'll see Game Masters, and not all. I believe Firene has it set up where not all Game Masters do police work. They're, like I said, there's different departments where they're balancing, but there'll be Game Masters that will be moderating the game. Absolutely. Yes, they have a special guild tag. It's called Game Master or GM.
So you can't see it on my screen anymore because I'm tiny. I drank a tiny potion and now I'm so tiny you can't see my name. But their name will be gold and they'll have a GM tag. Actually, is Stealth still on? Stealth is still on. He has his tag on. So let's... Or 2. Here he is. See?
And,
look at this.
Also, you can always see what staff are on to message them. Haslo, you want to click on yourself and go to the player list. Click on yourself and go to messages or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's going to be PMs.
Friends.
That's friends. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Player list.
You go to friends. And if you go to the players tab, it shows you all the staff that are online and what position they are, what class they are, and all the players that are on the game. so you know exactly what staff are online. So that's how that works. I already answered that question. I'll quickly answer it again. I feel like we're kind of going in circles now, but I said at the moment there's 15 members to a guild. You'll have if you leave a guild, you have a 24-hour cooldown before you can join your next guild. If you get kicked out of a guild, you have 24 hours before you can join your next one. And why does Bunny give chicken eggs? Because it's Delteria, where
nothing makes sense.
Nothing makes sense.
And the points don't matter.
And the points don't matter. And that's why. The chicken eggs, though, I'm going to do a little differently. Yeah, we're going to do that a little differently. We'll think about it when the time comes. Cough, will there be different... will there be a different special log and bonuses for special events? Let's say... say how other games have collab events with special log and event. Also, will there be an in-game encyclopedia where we can see what weapons are in-game, if we've owned them or not? In the future, will you do something like RuneScape where you can buy something to give someone VIP? I've thought about that. I've thought about that. When you buy VIP, you actually get a token, and that token probably can be sold through the marketplace. You can't sell it to someone directly, but if you buy a VIP token, I feel like you should be able to do what you want with it, and that can change if Unix Mag says no. So I can't tell you yes in stone. It all depends on what the big boss allows us to do. No, VIP items will not be tradable. And that's like it on every iOS server. They're just not tradable. And you can't trade items anyway. But to answer your question, you will not be able to sell them in the marketplace.
And chances are they're going to be unique. So if you miss that month, you miss it out forever. Unless we have some kind of retro event where we go back in time and unlock them from the vault. Yeah, it'll be your only chance to get them. So if you see something that you like, snap it up when you can.
And if you go, Haslo can show you what the marketplace looks like, where all tradings are. If he wants to head down to the marketplace real quick, so you guys can get a peek of that.
I hit the tent. Give me a second. Hold on, let me actually get off the dragon.
So this is the marketplace. These items are actually live that players are selling. They show in the window, they show in the shop, their abilities, and you can actually Haslo can tap on one of the items in the window, or you can do it in the window. It works in the window too. If you go outside, tap on the item in the window.
Yep.
It actually gives you a description of what that item is, the rarity of that item, and things like that. You can go in the marketplace, you can search that item, and you can buy it, and it will disappear from the window.
You can also tap on yourself, and you can see the market directly here. There's a little gavel, and you can see what's being sold. So you can access this currently from anywhere. That might not be the case in the final release, though.
No, and that's not the case. It's only because you're staffed.
Oh, really? Oh, I did not know that, actually. I'm special. But yeah. So there you go. So otherwise, you can go inside and access the same menu.
Yep. You can only access the marketplaces. I'm also going to change it. So at the moment, marketplaces are not unique. So basically, this marketplace items are everywhere. However, you only able to buy the marketplaces in that place. So if you go to Cal's Report, you only be able to buy Cal's Report items that are sold and sold in Cal's Report. If you go to I forget the other town that we renamed it to, they'll only be able to be sold, and you'll be able to sell items in that place. So they'll be unique to the location they're at. Yes, there'll be event coins on Delteria as well. Yep, those will be used specifically for event items, out-of-game items. Will some mounts have their own special effects, like how every mount in Classic can breathe fire, even whales? But if you have a whale in Delteria, will it just be able to swim and not breathe fire? Well, that's because iClassic has a horse system, and that really is on all Grail, all mounts or horses were able to spit fire. So that is a thing really unique to Classic. On Delteria, we plan on adding flying mounts. We plan on adding water mounts. We plan on adding things like that. And at the moment, none of our mounts attack. But we do have plans of these giant bugalo mounts you can get. that you can get cannons on their backs and you can fire cannons. So we definitely plan on adding some uniqueness to different mounts. That is
Is this
that
one
was a
broken?
testing.
Oh, that one's broken? There was one that's not broken. Let's see. Is it this one? No, that's not the one. There.
Does any of your mounts work?
Yeah. A lot of them work. Most of them work. It says there's actually a couple that don't, but most of them do work. There's a lot of cool ones,
Probably
actually.
when I changed them over to the mount system, I probably forgot because we redid the mount system to make it a little bit better for the players controlling.
This one's fabulous. You can't call it anything else but fabulous. It's the word you
I
have
don't
to
know.
use.
I don't know what that's. I don't think that's really a legit question. I don't know what the chem gun is. Like I said, I'm a developer. If you enchant your weapon, does the enchantment degrade the weapon? No, absolutely not. So when you enchant a weapon, it gives the weapon a bonus, not a debuff. It gives the weapon a bonus, whether it's attack bonus, whether it's attack speed, whether it's poison damage, fire damage. It gives the item some type of weapon. And Frank, this is about Delteria. What they do on Era has nothing to do with me. Hoyt and the team there do very well on that game, so it's all up to them. We have no control over Era. We have no control over any game besides Delteria, and sometimes some things on Delteria are even out of our control. No, there's not going to be a enchantment that gives your item more durability, unfortunately. So yeah, there's not a weapon that gives your weapon more durability. I'm the one that scripted Plasma Corp. So I know exactly what you're talking about. I am the one that did that on Era. Plasma Corp was really fun to do. Yes, we do plan on having something very similar to that, where players queue up and there's wave of bosses, but it's not going to be like Plasma Corp. It's going to be in our own little unique way, but yeah, we do have that plan. I don't know yet. The durability is not going to go down super fast. The durability is not going to go down super fast. It's not going to be like you swing your sword 3 times, it's going to break. You swing your weapon 3 times, it's going to break. If you use a cheap weapon, chances are it's going to break quicker than a weapon that was harder to craft. The more harder it is to craft a weapon, the more durability it's going to have. That's a given. So if you worked really hard on crafting this item, or you struggled really hard on getting the materials to craft this item, it's going to have a big durability on it. Yes, if you die, your weapon loses 10% durability automatically. And that's where it comes to murderers, because if the murderers kill you, they make you do damage to your gear, but also if you come back and you kill them, you can get all their stuff. So it's a win-win.
Question. So if you're basing and you die a lot, is your item just gonna break very quickly?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Yes. Yep,
So,
absolutely. If you're basing and continuously fighting, but you guys are looking at it like, you guys might have like, you can repair these weapons on the spot. You don't have to go anywhere.
mm-hmm.
You can go to your inventory and just repair them. That's it.
But the max durability will go down eventually.
But the max durability will go down on how many times you can repair that item. Absolutely.
So if I'm basing for like approximately like 2 hours, am I gonna have to like repair it during that time, or is it gonna be like if I'm constantly basing? So am I gonna be repairing it every like 5 minutes, or am I gonna be repairing it like every 2 hours?
It's going to
Or
depend
even
how
like,
often you're dying, because it has nothing to
But
do
you
with the
gotta think
amount of
about it,
time.
because
It's the death count mostly.
if you guys are doing well, and people are fighting you, the same thing's happening to them. So they're not gonna just run into a base and get messed up like you do on a normal server, because their gear is gonna get broken. Especially if they get jumped by 10 people that they're versing, they're gonna really want to think out if we should take over this base. This guild's too strong, you know what I mean? So it really makes people question if they should go take over that base, if they're equipped enough to take over that base. So it goes both ways.
Okay.
It's a double-edged sword.
So we're gonna, as Carlito was saying, my point of view, my understanding from all this is we don't want to be like the other servers where we're just sending tons of bodies in and just you're dying, reviving, and running in again. We want it to be more planned out and strategic because death has costs on Delteria, and it's going to be a high cost, especially if you're using your best gear.
And speaking of costs, I forgot to mention. Remember, I said there's no PK zone. But however, guild forts and the areas around the guild forts, we're gonna call lawless zones. So there is no there's no repercussions for killing a member or killing somebody. You don't get a murder time because they're lawless zones. Also, we have that like old westing town. We have that old west town looking town, and that old west town is probably going to be a lawless town. Since that town is not a kingdom or anything, it's probably going to be a lawless. You walk in that town, anybody can kill in that town. So only go to that town at your own risk. There's going to be lawless towns. So there is going to be areas where you're not going to get penalized for killing people, and these people are not going to drop any gear. You're not going to drop any gear. But it's like, yeah, they're going to call, and they're going to warn the player when they're getting near it, so they know that they're getting near a lawless zone. All right, let me back up. I can die in this place. You know what I mean? Or if I don't care if they kill me, you know what I mean? So that's how we're going to go about it. I've never played RuneScape before, so I'm not familiar with RuneScape. I have played World of Warcraft before. I've played New World before, and all those type of things. So, all right, guys. Any more questions before we wrap this up? It went on for 2 hours. We're expecting an hour. Yeah. We ended up going an hour over. But is any more questions you guys have? We'll have as we get working on Delteria this month, we will have probably another stream. Showing off next time, we'll be showing off the content we have, getting people's feedback, and seeing what they think. So, let us know, guys. Let us know.
Thank you guys so much for coming out. We really do appreciate it. All you people here, what this tells us is that people are interested in the game. You guys are excited about it, and you want to know more about it. And a lot of you want to help make it better. So thank you all for all of your ideas, your suggestions. I know I've been annoying with this. But if you haven't joined the Discord, go ahead and join it. Discord will give you a chance to continue to ask us questions and to continue to give us suggestions to help make the game that you guys want. So thank you, all of you, all your time, all your effort, TyVert, Carlito, for your time as well, asking all those great questions, and everyone in chat. So I think that's it. I think we can call it here.
And we appreciate it. Thank you guys, and we'll keep you guys updated on the progress we make within Delteria.
TyVert, I think it's only fair to give you an opportunity to give a little shout out if you want.
All right. Shout out to everybody in WIP that's watching. Rajofa and Axios helped me out with the questions a lot. Most of the questions were them. So thank you guys.
All right. So thank you to everyone who was involved. Come by Delteria, check it out, and have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody. Take care, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for watching. If you'd like to be a part of Delteria's development, check out the description to join their Discord server. Here are last week's winners. This week's prompt is, what is your favorite GraalOnline game and why?